The shadow. One of the first challenges facing a new business storyteller is identifying the shadow character. Many are tempted to ignore the shadow character. This is understandable because it's human nature to avoid discussing what can go wrong for the hero. It's more fun to talk about triumphs. However, ignoring the shadow character is an ineffective strategy. It's better in most cases to acknowledge the shadow character, which could be competition, issues, or other forms of opposition, rather than to wait for it to appear as a surprises character or shapeshifter and possibly cause the hero to fail. In other words, it's better to prepare the hero to face the shadow properly. In the case of a business proposal, prepare the audience with facts and supporting data to be able to make the right decision. You are preparing the people in the audience to confront and overcome the challenges they face during their adventure. Stories and movies lose their magic without the shadow character. They would be uninteresting at best. What's the point of telling a story without an antagonist? Imagine Spider-Man without a nemesis. It would go like this. Peter Parker in Spider-Man is a nerdy kid who adores Mary Jane. The spider bites him and gives him superpowers. He decides to become Spider-Man, and soon MJ falls in love with him. The end. What's the point of the story? Spider-Man is nothing without the opposing forces. The story that is a blockbuster movie goes like this. Peter is bullied by the other kids, but he refuses to use his new strength against them. At a confusing time in his life, Peter refuses to stop a crook who eventually kills Peter's uncle. Peter decides to become Spider-Man and fight crime because he let his uncle down. While fighting crime, Spider-Man encounters the evil Green Goblin, who has superpowers but uses them irresponsibly. The drama between the two ultimately convinces Peter Parker that with great power comes great responsibility. This becomes the point of the whole story. It also illustrates that the story needs a shadow to be interesting. Your presentations need shadows in the same way. Think about a presentation you've attended or presented without a shadow. Was it a long meeting? How much more interesting would it have been with a shadow for the audience? So how do you come up with the shadow? First, remember that the shadow character in your presentation is not your shadow. You are the mentor character. It's the shadow character for the audience, the hero. Look at the situation from the audience's perspective and identify what would prevent the audience from achieving success. It could be any number of problems or issues: budget, floor space, competition, etc. It could also be something internal: fear of change, old habits, risks. The shadow character can also be varying degrees of opposition, with varying strategies for overcoming them. In other words, it doesn't have to be an arch nemesis. The shadow character can be something as simple as a scheduling issue. Remember also that the hero character faces threshold guardians along the way. These are not the shadow character. They are smaller setbacks that prepare the hero character to face the shadow character. Obstacles and challenges prepare the audience to face the opposition. The audience members must address these things before they can make their decision. For example, before a customer can purchase a new IT system, they might first have to upgrade their IT infrastructure. The infrastructure upgrade is not the opposition. It's only a preparation. The opposition might be the interruption and the inconvenience required to make the transition. Essentially, the shadow is the greatest challenge. While there may be various forms of opposition in your business narrative, something is likely to appear as the greatest challenge.